Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 29 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, we're into July 1st. I just skipped right through June. We had nothing to do there at all, so we just cruised on through. So now we're at the beginning of July, and you'll notice if we come running over here that our grass is ready to harvest in this field. But we're not going to do that this month. We're going to wait until next month for that, because then the grass in our leased field will be ready as well, and we can do both at once, and we'll still have enough time to get the last cutting off in November. So that's one job we are not going to do today, but we are going to do something that relates to the grass. Now, if you remember, we purchased just a short time ago a rear side mower, and it was fairly small, and we were looking for a bigger one. Here it is right here. Well, Ben called, and wouldn't you know it, just shortly after we purchased this one, then a new model came out, and they do now have a Claas rear side mower, a much larger one. Ben is going to give us our money back on this one. He said he'd give us full refund on that, and we can pick up that other mower just for the difference. He said he'd just throw this one in his used equipment. That was fine, and he might even be able to rent it out. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now we'll just use the John Deere for that. I know it's a little slower on the road, but the Claas tractor is down at the main farm, so we'll just jump in here. And you know what? I think we'll take the forks off. That way we don't skewer somebody on the road. Safety first. Yeah, we'll just set them right here. Should be fine. We can't put a front weight on this tractor, so we'll leave the front loader on just to give us a little weight on the front end. I'm sure we don't need it for this little mower, but for the larger one we bring home, we will. But that's not the only news. Sims called kind of out of the blue, and he is asking us to come and spread some manure. He's got a couple fields he'd like us to spread on, his grass field and then a crop field that he had just harvested. So I told him I didn't have a very big spreader, but he said that was fine. As long as it's done this month, he doesn't care how long it takes. So I said, okay, it's going to pay us pretty well. $8,000 for the grass field and $10,000 for the crop field, so it's pretty good money. But like I said, I don't know how long that's actually going to take us. Guess it kind of depends how heavily he wants us to put it on there as well. So now he said he rented a wheel loader with a large bucket, so that'll really help on the loading time, and I believe he's actually going to come and load for us as well, so it shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to get a start on that project first thing tomorrow morning. It's rather late in the day to be getting going on that, so that's what we're going to be up to. Now, we said he wouldn't mind if we ran out of manure, we could spread some slurry as well, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm really hoping we don't need to deal with the slurry, because our tanker is really small. Anyways, this is pretty slow going here in the old John Deere down to the shop, so I will leave you there, and I'll catch up with you at the shop. See you there. Well, there, I just finished up with Ben in his office. We got the money all straightened out. Our new mower is sitting in the shop. That was really nice of Ben to offer to do that for us. He certainly didn't need to. I would have never known if he hadn't called and let me know a new series had been released. But he said he likes to see us using the latest stuff. It's good advertising for him. So we get hooked up here. In fact, when he saw that I drove up in the John Deere, I think I saw his nose wrinkle up a little bit. Boy, that sucker's big. Let's unfold it here before we... Yeah, that's quite a bit bigger, all right. It's actually the same size as our front mower. So it'll double our mowing width, which would make it about the same as the John Deere batwing mower that we were using as TFSs. The only difference will be the amount of overlap there is between the front and the back. Otherwise, it would be exactly the same. But it sure looks big on there. Anyways, I'll get this back up to our place and put in the shed. And then I think I'll get my wife to run me down, and I'll pick up the cloths and the manure spreader and get that all organized and ready to go for tomorrow morning. I think we're going to get an early start, bright and early at 7, because I just really don't have a good feel for how long this is going to take, because I've only ever done our small field. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Well, I know I said that I would see you tomorrow morning, but then on the way home, I realized that there was a very important item that I needed to take care of that I forgot. We need to send Ben his $12,800 for his quarterly payment that was due today. So I'm going to do that. So our $70,000 that you see up there, next time you come in, which will be tomorrow, will be $12,800 less. So just wanted to let you know that, because I didn't want to forget again. So now you will see me tomorrow morning, and like I said, we'll be almost 13 grand lighter. So see you then. Okay, it looks like we have a beautiful day. Well, what's it, 5 to 7? So I'm running a little bit behind, but not too bad. Supposed to be there for 7 o'clock. Guess I shouldn't have had that last half cup of coffee. Now we've got a little manure in our manure spreader. If there's enough manure at Sims, we'll replace it with his, but if there isn't, well, we'll just donate it to the cause, because we're making pretty good money. As you can see, our money is down. I sure don't like that 57 number as much as I like the 70 number that was there before. But that was the deal, and it still is a pretty good deal. Now, as we make these payments, as we accrue enough money there that it pays for a piece of equipment, we kind of get the deed, or not the deed, oh shoot, now I can't think of the word, it's just gone. It was there a minute ago. Anyways, we'll own that piece of equipment, and it'll come off the list, like it's ours. That's why we'll maintain the payment for a minimum of a year, and then we'll go and look at it and readjust it and take the equipment off. Of course, we've added that bale trailer, so same doesn't apply. It can go up. So our next payment will actually be a bit higher, because we'll have to add in that bale trailer. And to be honest, it'll go much higher, because kind of the elephant on the farm is we need a harvester, and that is going to be expensive. And then we have no choice but to put on that on the lease program. So that is really going to smart. But we should have a bunch of pig food to sell, even more than last time, I'm thinking. So we should be okay. You notice we snuck down the back way. No sense dropping manure all over the main roads. Not a good way to win friends and influence people, as they say. Oh, look at that. Although, look, it's only 7:04. That's pretty close to 7. But Sims is there, ready and raring to go. Got a bucket load of manure already, even. He's serious about getting this done. Oh, I think he just bought himself a manure spreading trailer. I think I got a wee dent now. I am really curious at how long this is going to take and how much manure is going to take, and if he has enough. Although he said he's got like, I think, close to 500,000 liters of manure in that pile. So I'm kind of thinking we're not going to run out of manure. I'd be surprised. I wonder when the Sims rented that loader if he asked them if they'd paint it green. Seems kind of odd to see something other than green equipment on this farm. There we go, we got a load. Let's go throw that on the field and see how far we get. Now, I can't forget to unfold this thing or we won't get very far. Now I've already adjusted it to the rate he requested. Sims provided me with the rates that he wants it applied on the fields, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, I have to be honest, it's not going down as fast as I thought it would. Of course, it's grass and it's a fairly light rate. We're going to apply a significantly higher rate on the crop field. I am still pretty impressed. I envisioned going only part way down the field and having to come back and load and just a continuous rinse and repeat of that, but we're only going to go through, whoa, not even, well, maybe 20% on one pass, so might not be as onerous a job as I thought it was going to be. I envisioned us working away on this for a couple days. Now, what we're going to do here, because we don't want to run over any of the neighbor's crop, we'll make ourselves a bit of a headland at this end. Now I think he's going to do his plan is like I did. He just put a base coat down, and then he's going to go over with his precision farming equipment and top it up. He's just like I was planning on doing, is offsetting his fertilizer costs by putting down manure and or slurry. It's a tight little corner there with crops all the way around. We'll make a run down this way to give ourselves a little room. It is a beautiful clear day here on Bloomfield. Everything's nice and green, middle of summer. Gorgeous. Now after we finish this little chore, I guess that's actually, I was about to stick my foot in my mouth again, as I often do. I was going to say you won't see me till harvest time, but we have grass to cut next month. And a new mower to try out, so I guess you will see me next month. I was going to say you won't see me till harvest time. Well, sorry about that. I mean, I have to drag you through the trees at least once every episode. It's kind of my thing. Sometimes that's why you'll find I'll bring you in and I've already done the outside of the fields. That's why, to avoid the trees. Can't believe the big man himself is helping us out. You would think he'd have hired him that could do this. Maybe he's just checking, wants to keep an eye on us, make sure we're doing it right. I know, I think I say it every time I come down here, but boy, I enjoy playing on this farm. This particular farm on here. I mean, I enjoy this map, but I really like playing on Sims's farm. It's funny, Sims and I were just talking about that the other day. He was on here helping me, like he is on here helping me with this episode, which I really appreciate. It's always fun. But we were talking about that, and I think it's because there's no build-up on this farm. This farm, the build-up part's all been done, and you're just playing with all the gear and equipment that you want. You know, almost no expense was spared, so to speak. A lot of my playthroughs, even when I'm just playing for fun, are all about starting, you know, from scratch or something similar, and the build up. And once you kind of reach your goal, then you move on to something else. But Sims's farm is kind of is the type of goal I often am shooting for. And then, like I said, I don't often get to play at that level for very long, and I'm moving on to something else. So I think that's a big part of the reason why I enjoy it so much. It's got the equipment I like. I'm not worried about the money or building up. I'm just playing. It's fun. Oops, I should have hit the wrong button there. I didn't really mean to fertilize the road, honest. Speaking of fun, you need to stay tuned, because there is more fun coming from the Murphy Sims duo. I won't say any more than that, but stay tuned. I will say this though, it does have a Bloomfield connection. So look forward to that. Keep an eye on Sims's channel, and coming soon, I think. Well, I think we better head back down, and we're going to need to get topped back up again. I am impressed with how far this is going. In fact, I think what we might do here is we'll head back down. I don't think we'll be empty, but close enough. We'll be down in the area anyways. We'll let Sims fill us back up, and then I'll finish this grass field off camera, and then we'll bring you back in, and we'll see how we make out on that crop field. I wonder if Sims is going to reevaluate how much he's going to pay. I mean, it's not even 8 o'clock. We'll probably be done this field before 9. That's pretty good money for a couple hours work. I guess there is wear and tear on the equipment too, though. Boy, that's about all that wheel loader can handle, that bucket of manure. Actually, probably a bit oversized. But I think with Sims, it's safe to say, you know, go big or go home. It's kind of his philosophy. I guess when I'm zoomed out like that, you really can't hear that wheel loader working. But anyways, I think I will leave you there. I'll finish up the grass field, and we'll come back in and see what kind of damage we can do on that crop field. So we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so here we go. Our first load on our Sims's crop field, I should say. We're putting it almost 3 times heavier on here. So it should go down a little quicker, I'm thinking. Yeah, and we're not even at 9 o'clock. Although this is a bigger field, it is going to take a little bit longer. I did have a little chat with Sims, and I said I kind of felt guilty about, you know, taking that much money off of him for so little work. And he says it's actually a drop in the bucket compared to the fertilizer costs, what it costs him to put fertilizer down. Pretty small price to pay for what he's going to save, he figures. Now on the grass field, we couldn't have put it on any heavier or we would have been over fertilizing. Now, he said he was a little bit conservative on the crop field because he just, like us, didn't know how far the manure was actually going to go. So if he has enough going forward, we might spread it on a little bit thicker even. But we should be putting down more than half the nitrogen than what the crop actually needs. If I got that out correct. I got a little tongue-tied there. So we're putting down more than half. So we should save half the fertilizing costs at least. Yeah, look at that. Where we did several up and downs on the grass field, we've got one up. And we're not going to get any down. We'll go over here and do the headland, and then we'll have to run down and fill up again. So it certainly does make a difference. It's the increased travel time, the back and forth to get loaded, that's going to add the time to get in the field done. Yeah, I'm going to finish up that little spot I missed there. And then I think we'll head back down and get another load. There we are, we're empty. Yeah, so that's certainly going to take a bigger bite out of his manure pile, that's for sure. Didn't even touch the trailer that time. Just sitting here and enjoying watching someone else work. All right, we're full. We'll go throw this on the field. I'll try and sneak in here a little closer so you can hear the equipment running. And I'll try and drive straight if that's possible. Just threw a worker on there quick so we can take a look at this operation from a little closer vantage point just before we go. I know it's not a John Deere, but I think a Class looks pretty good in the field too. Seems to be doing a pretty darn good job, this setup here. Can see the steam coming off. Well, I think that is probably more than an episode, and probably more than enough manure spreading for you guys. I mean, how much can you actually watch? So I think we'll leave you there. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. And just one last shout out, thanks for the Farming Sims for coming on and giving me a hand with this episode. But for this episode here on Bloomfield, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.